Feel that.
How are you guys doing, MomoCon? You guys good? Hell yeah. You all sound very tired, which is good.
Yeah, is anyone else hungover? I think we all are.
Yeah, the parties were last night. Jesus. And there's a rave tonight, too. So many things are happening. So this panel is basically kind of like a how you do the thing panel. So we're going to start with some regular questions, and I'm going to open the floor after about 25, 30 minutes. Everyone cool with that? Awesome. So all of you pretty much cover different styles of music genres, vocal techniques, and specific game music that you like to cover. Is there an importance in finding a niche when doing this type of work, or does it pay off to venture into different things?
It pays off to do both. It's not a good answer because that doesn't help anyone, but I think you definitely have to strike a balance between kind of obviously, if you're hitting a niche that's like really, really popular, it's very, very hard to break into if you're just starting out. In the beginning, you're gonna be doing a lot of stuff, a lot of time for not a lot of people, typically. So what I would suggest is you really niche down to something that you love and maybe doesn't have as much. And that doesn't sound as like immediately rewarding, but I promise like it really is just a marathon and not a sprint. You want to be able to sustain it as long as you can.
I agree with that. I definitely agree. And you're gonna have to experiment with a lot of things because a lot of the time we don't always, as we're content creators, we also develop as people. And so over time you get to understand your interests and like your niche of music a lot more over time. So yeah, that's something to account for as well. Make room for mistakes and make room for growth.
Yeah, I mean, you can get burnt out so fast if you're just doing stuff like to try and appeal to the mass audience. I mean, it's really tempting because like views they feel good, you know. But I think doing something that you're truly passionate about and you're just obsessed with, it's like that's literally just what you have to do, because you're just constantly like creating and just like using your brain all the time, and it should be about something that you care deeply about and that you know about. So I definitely think having a niche is very good and important, even if it's not popular, you know, because it's like, I mean, for example, for me, it's like I cover a lot of songs from just really obscure games just because the songs are bangers, you know, and the best is just reading those comments of like, dude, what? Like, nobody does this. Like, I've never seen this, and that's, you know, that's definitely meaningful, so I think there's something to it, for sure.
I love that. I love hearing you guys. So these are all wonderful content creators. I am wanting to create more content, but I am a performer. I sing in Final Fantasy 14 and 16. But I also agree with everybody here that regardless, you need to find a niche. And I didn't know what my niche was. I kind of landed in the gaming industry. I was trying to be an opera singer. I was trying to be a jazz singer. I was like, maybe I should write pop music. I don't know. I never really felt like I had a home, but I was always sticking true to what felt authentic to me as a vocalist, and my path looked very different from that of a lot of singers. I'm from Los Angeles, and there's kind of a specific track that you take as a vocalist, and that never felt right for me, and I felt like I was swimming upstream, and it was depressing sometimes, and it was frustrating, and it took me about 10 years of feeling like I'm not in the right place, I'm not in the right place. And then I got to sing on an Eorzean Symphony concert, which is a Final Fantasy 14 concert. That's how I met the composer, Masayoshi Soken. I was just contracted as the soloist, but because I wanted to be my most authentic self, I really, really took the time to prepare that music and do my best performance, where a lot of other singers may have just phoned something like that in. But then I got to work with Soken. Like, he respected that. He saw that I put this effort in there. And so staying true to yourself, being authentic, knowing what you like, doing your best at every opportunity. You never know when you might make the connection that finds your niche. That's how I got to my niche, by just showing up authentically and sticking true to my guns, even when it was different from everybody else's. So niche it out. Yeah.
Niche, niche, niche.
Niche it out.
That is the theme for the
niche
day.
it out.
We're going to do that now.
That was
dope.
beautiful.
That was great. Well, since we have content creators and also just like professional in the industry people, let's talk about like vocal and music training. Because it's not people will always argue like it's not necessary. It is necessary. But what are y'all's opinions of like, do you necessarily need it for content creation at the professional level, or are there any hacks and shortcuts you want to give to someone who wants to start going into music?
It's not gonna hurt.
Your first videos, your first song, it's not going to be your best. I mean, like when I listen to my first cover sounds like a bunch of bees, like you know, like I'm still proud of it, of course. I mean, yeah, exactly. So it's, you know, like when you compare the work that I'm doing now, you know, a million years later to when I first started, it's like not even the same universe of quality, you know, and
Yeah, you're always evolving.
exactly.
The more you work, you're always changing, and you have to be comfortable with that evolution.
Exactly, and I always personally find for me, I'm like, okay, this is it, this is perfection. Like on my whatever video I'm just about to put out, you know, thank you, yeah, and
Like, we've seen it, yes.
Thank you.
and but then like 2 months later, I'm like, what is this garbage?
Oh my God, I feel that way all the time.
Yeah, it's like this is trash.
It's the artist process.
Yeah. So obviously you don't want to be too hard on yourself,
Yeah.
but the reality is like you're gonna be bad at anything when you start. That's just the reality of life, you know. But I mean, if you'll know that you're cut out for this. Thank you again. You'll know that you're cut out for this when you. If you just don't care about that, if you're just having fun, that's how you know that this is like the path that you're supposed to be on. Because a lot of people will start, and me included, I'll try so many things. I've tried, you know, being competitive at certain games, whatever, and then I'll suck, and I'll be like, sucking kind of feels bad. I'm gonna stop, and that's fine. That just means that that's not what I was put on this earth for. But if you find something that you suck at first, and then you're still like, I need to get better. I need to get better. That's the thing that you do, you know. But the reality is you're gonna start. You know, you gotta learn. So just start. You know.
Yeah, like I know this is way easier said than done. Get your shitty stuff out soon. Just as soon as you possibly can, because it's gonna get better. And the sooner, I always liked the idea that an entire other art form that people don't think about that you have to be good at in doing art forms is publishing. It's very hard to publish, and it is a practice. The more you don't publish, the worse at it you get. The more projects.
I need to be hearing this.
The more projects you have that are in your works in progress that never get finished, they tend to sexually reproduce and make more and more and more and
You're
more.
calling me out right now.
It's everyone deals with it, and
Yeah.
like for me, what really helped was I was just like, all right, every Tuesday, whatever state this is in, it's coming out. You know, it doesn't matter if it's perfect. In fact, it never will be perfect. So I might as well just put it out. The next one, I will learn hopefully from it, and I'll be faster, I'll be better, I'll be more efficient. But this one, it's done. Put it out.
I think the audience likes to see imperfection because it's
Yeah.
relatable.
I don't like them to see imperfection.
No.
Perfection's boring.
Yeah, but people want to see, like, if they only ever see the perfect, pristine, you know, wrapped with a bow thing, they're not going to think you're a human, and you're not approachable, and you're not relatable. And
I'm not a human. I'm not
He's an
approachable.
android, you know? It's like he's buzzing over here.
This
It's
dog is
weird.
made with AI.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah, they're going to think you're AI. We don't want that.
Yeah.
Unless you do, which is fine. Go do that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Melodyne? I'm like, yeah,
I
use
love
it. It's a great
Melodyne.
tool.
Oh,
But I'm an
God.
android, so don't listen to
Yeah.
me.
Take everything the Android says with a grain of salt.
Beep boop logic.
But, you know, not to sound like a dad or whatever, but it's like there's no shortcuts, you know? There's no, like...
Except for Melodyne. That's a good
yeah.
short.
It takes a long time, though. If you
Yeah.
don't know by now,
It's
it's not
so-
even
That's kind of a deal with the devil, though,
Yeah.
even that. Because
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
oh, we want you to
absolutely.
perform live. You're like, oh, crap.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ooh,
So,
I have.
yeah, I mean-
Sorry. I will say, on the vocal training side, to answer the question.
Yeah.
So I will say, in my experience, like I record in my closet, candid, singer. I couldn't really afford vocal training, so a lot of it I had to learn from home, and I learned from the free choir programs in like my high school and stuff like that. And then I went to a community college, took a music program. You know, I'm like every other YouTuber that quits college, you know, the dream, right? The fake dream. But like, you know, I continued doing what I'm doing because, I mean, I'm low-key crazy, but also like,
We all are.
right? But also I genuinely love what I do, right? It's like, again, you know, it's not a sprint. You have to just have endurance, build endurance. And as a vocalist, endurance is a key thing because, you know, it's kind of funny. Singing is really funny. When you are so focused on trying to be perfect, you get tense, and then your voice is not, you know, doesn't come out as polished as you want it to be. You know, there's a kind of a sacrifice you kind of have to make with making mistakes as a singer, and you have to develop your muscles. I think singing a lot of the time is very psychological, from what I've studied.
100%.
And it's very physical.
100%.
Very physical. Yeah, psychological can be physical. It's like, you know, a lot of it's like a domino effect, but our body is our instrument, right? Our body is our instrument. And so, you know, unlike someone who plays guitar or whatever, you know, we can't escape our
It
bodies.
takes skill.
It's really easy for us.
Yeah, guitar's so easy.
Instrumentalist.
You have to actually be good.
On that, like, yeah, Melodyne exists. You can't Melodyne a bad performance. Like,
Yeah,
sure, you
exactly.
can
It
get the
only
pitches
goes so
right.
far.
Yeah,
It
so
starts to affect everything gets really
yeah,
weird.
so you need to have a good psychological approach to singing. I mean, I Melodyne my bass sometimes. You can do a lot of stuff in Melodyne. Anyway, yeah, absolutely. You know, I don't know if that.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say too. It's like taking care of yourself is so, you know, we can't leave our instruments. We're with it 24/7, and so when we have the chances to self-care, like before my show, I was like, I'm self-caring.
Yeah.
Not Karen, but like Karen.
self-caring.
Self-caring. That too, honestly.
Oh yeah, whenever I arrive somewhere for a performance, usually the first thing I do is just take a bath in the hotel and relax. Sometimes if I can, I'll do like a 5, 10, 20-minute YouTube meditation or something. But you're right, as a singer specifically, this is something you need to take such care of. You need to stay so hydrated. Planes are super dehydrating. I know this wasn't the initial question. We're kind of veering off here.
No,
but
I had a question about vocal health.
It's
You're good.
important. Okay.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah, and it is really, singing is a very abstract thing, and you have to conceptualize a lot of this psychological before your body responds. You have to be operating here in your mental state before your body can really, you know, lock into place. So everything you're saying, totally feel that.
I was gonna say if I don't want to cut you off.
I kind of wanted to answer her initial question because I think we can come back to the vocal thing.
Awesome.
In the film TV industry, there are a lot of film score composers who have never played an instrument, who did not study, who didn't go to school, who can't read music, and they're killing it.
Yeah.
You know, so yes, of course, training is going to give you more vocabulary to work with. You will have more tools in your arsenal. Is it necessary? No.
Yeah.
But it's going to help. It's going to help your understanding.
Absolutely. I think, you know, I know I'd come across like who the fuck brought this guy in here, but I'm classically trained in guitar.
We brought the dog in, to be fair.
I brought a
He's
dog.
just an android.
No, I'm classically trained in guitar. I'm a huge theory nerd. I have the circle of fifths tattooed on my arm.
You do?
Yeah, it's right here.
Oh my gosh.
That's pretty cool.
That's cool, though.
It's very metal.
Nice.
Yeah, it's so metal.
But I started at that place where I think a lot of I know I can only speak for guitarists, but I'm sure this is the case with other instruments. That it's like, oh, I don't want the theory to like hold me down, man. Like I just want to feel the music. It's the theory is not gonna make you make bad music unless you are already gonna make bad music to begin with. All it's gonna do is help you. And a lot of people ask me, you know, after that is like, how much do I use the theory? And the answer is not a lot. But when I do, it's important because it's usually when I'm at a writer's block spot. Because now I have tools to
Pick from your tools.
Right, exactly. But when I'm actually writing, I'm not sitting there like, oh yes, the secondary dominant of the fourth chord. I don't care. Like I'm just writing stuff that sounds rad. Like, but please don't get into that headspace of like I'll just say it. I think it's a super lazy thing to say, like, oh, I don't want to learn music theory because it's gonna make you just don't want to do it because it's gonna be hard. And yeah, it's gonna be really, really hard. But
Music theory is hard.
it's not gonna hurt. It's only gonna help. But you don't need it. If you actually have like a roadblock keeping you from being able to learn that stuff, please just make music anyway, because it's only gonna help. It's not gonna make it.
And if you can't afford to take private lessons, YouTube University. There's
Yes.
so
YouTube is
much.
great.
YouTube is everything, you know. So just go, take the lessons.
Those idiots
Music
are just
theory,
giving it out for
voice.
free, man.
Yeah, there's a lot. Use that.
Awesome. So I think this question can relate to everyone on the panel. What role does the fandom community play in your creative process and motivation?
I'm sorry. What role does the what play?
What role does the fandom community play?
What do you think,
Oh.
Una? This is for everyone
Yeah.
on the panel.
What role does the-
yes.
Oh, he's licking it. Oh.
So
She had
valid.
things to say. Yeah, go ahead.
So
Jen.
valid.
I mean, my community's sick because they just like, I don't think they realize they're like doing so much of my job for me.
Yeah.
Because they're literally just like sending me just all the bangers,
Yeah.
like all the songs, and I'm like, I don't even have to look for them. They're just like, here you
Yes.
go.
Yeah.
You know, they drop them on my desk. You know,
Nice.
it's like, all right, here we go. And you know, you talk about a win-win situation. Yeah, dude. I mean,
We'll take requests and questions after, if that's okay.
yeah. Not to like plug any of my stuff, but in like my Discord and stuff, it's like people are just dropping
There you go.
song requests
Slide
like
in the Discord.
all the time, and it's just like, I mean, I listen to them, whenever I'm playing games and stuff, I'll just like be like, let's see what people are showing me, and I'll just be like, dude, what?
Yeah.
That's sick, And so my community, it's a completely symbiotic relationship. It's not like, here you go, my subject.
Yeah.
It's just like, you show me the banger, I have fun making it, I spit it back out to you. It's just completely like this kind of like entity that is the community and the creator. I think that's like a successful thing.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah. So actually, really funny. So I love Final Fantasy 14, and honestly, I'm just so astonished I get to be on the panel with you. I'm a big fan. Not to be cringe. I'm so sorry.
Cons are for cringe. You're good.
But ever since I joined, I play the game actively, the MMO, and
That's an understatement for you.
shut up. Look, okay.
Why are you clocking her like
Oh,
that?
it's okay. Yeah. So basically, when I joined the community, I loved the music. I really, really loved the music, and I was just part of the gaming community. I was part of the fandom, and then I started covering the music, and then I got to really dabble and be kind of in two worlds, where I was in the part of the fandom, but also in the music too. And it's just such a beautiful thing how community. It's just, I don't know how to explain it. I can't even put into words, but how we can all connect based on a song. I go in a dungeon and freaking you go dun 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 dun. The dungeon song comes on. Everyone's like, I fucking love this song. We're gonna tank starts running. It's just it's a moment, right?
Yeah.
So nerdy, but it's beautiful, and that's how I connect with the fandom. And I stream too, and they're like, oh, you want to do a Final Fantasy 14 song? I covered Flow Together, I covered Dragon Song, I did all the songs, and they're like, yeah, I really love your interpretation of it, and also it's just fun. It's fun,
There's sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm yeah.
No, you're good. Go for it.
Obviously there's a huge fan base for Final Fantasy 14 and 16, and a couple years ago I was like, how do I connect? How do I connect with the audience? There's so many amazing people out here. And so my form of content creation, it's not YouTube videos, although I'm working on a collab with P-Leaf right now. If you guys know P-Leaf, I'm stoked to work with her, and Husky also. I'm doing a collab with Husky.
Yes.
I'm starting to make more YouTube videos, but I didn't connect with the fan base until I started streaming on Twitch. And that was huge for me because I'm streaming 14 and 16 and connecting with people in real time. And now I'm able to, if I have questions about songs that I should be performing, covering, I'll reach out. I get so much help. The community is so thrilled that I want to be on their level with them, hanging out with them, playing with them. It's not a hierarchy. And that really, I feel like Final Fantasy 14 in particular has this element of community that is so unique and so wonderful. And so definitely touch base with a community and ask their questions. People love to be able to give their honest feedback, and then if they are a part of something that you create, it's thrilling for them, and then that keeps perpetuating, and you keep growing your followers, and it's a whole thing. So absolutely, communication with the community is huge.
Yes.
I kind of disagree with Jack. My community sucks. I hate all of my fans.
Yeah, I said my community is good.
No,
but,
your community is so cool.
Yeah.
Everyone that comes over from you is wonderful. Everyone else sucks. So,
Yeah.
no, but like, okay, just me saying that, it's almost just kind of like, whoa, what the hell? It's because this is kind of like, we are the fans. Like we're making fan content because we are also fans.
Yes.
And the second we start separating that, the second like. You
It's
know,
over.
It is over.
Yeah,
like I
you're
almost
done.
just got canceled 5 seconds ago. Like, you know, no, like I think it's so important to kind of like, I don't know, like embrace the fandom because there's so much right now of people who are like, oh, I would like this game, but the fandom ruins it. Like there's so, like everybody just thought of a game right now. And listen, I love Undertale, but like I really feel like no, like for me personally, like I felt that really early on, like because I actually I was doing weekly videos for like 5 years straight. And the second I stopped, Undertale dropped. And by the time I was like, okay, I'm ready to get back into it, it had that swing of people being like, man, Undertale's so cringe, like Megalovania, like it's not even that good a song, like whatever, like, you know, and I was kind of feeling like this kind of, like this tear of like, there are people who like this and would like to do it, but I also want to appeal to the people who are like, you know, more, down to earth maybe is kind of like my thought process. Looking back on it, it doesn't really make sense, but I kind of stayed away from it for a while because I was almost like afraid of whatever that backlash is, or maybe somebody would think that I was like not a true fan or not a educated fan or something like that. But I should have just done it immediately because I loved Undertale when I first played it. I loved Megalovania. I never got through it, but I did love it. And I feel like I kind of separated myself from the fandom that was the original reason I started this. So I feel like kind of when we're talking about like making music for fan spaces, I think it's important to always put that first, is that you're a fan first and foremost, and
Yes.
there's nothing to be ashamed of that.
So shameful to be a
So-
fan.
Yeah, how dare you? So cringe. No, it's awesome. And that's what we're doing. We're celebrating it. When you find something that's the content that you love, somebody made, like a artwork of it on DeviantArt or wherever, you see a funny meme of it, like that's you engaging in that community, and it's something that touches you on a very emotional, deep level, and that should be celebrated. So always embrace that.
Nice. So piggybacking off of this little conversation, because I've talked to other content creators that also do the same thing, and there's like 2 routes they usually go to. They usually go for like what they truly enjoy, or they find another fandom that they probably know nothing about, create something that's really cool, and then they kind of just go in that route. So do you guys think it's more important to create your own audience that is specific to you as a brand, or like finding an audience and then creating a brand around it?
Both are super valid.
Depends what your goal
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess. You know, it's like, I mean, it's like the obviously like the more like sexy answer is like I do it all myself, and like everyone just
Sexy.
flocks to me, and I just don't have to try it all, you know. But it's like sometimes, like for me, for example, I have such an interesting kind of like story related to that, because like I've been doing streams where I'm like reacting to songs and just like checking out songs that people are sending me, and like, you know, there's a couple of games out there, freaking like, for example, like 2 games that come to mind are like Arknights and Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle.
Yeah.
And like these communities have just come in and they send me all these songs, and they're so cool, and the songs are great, the people are great, and I'm like, I dig this.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, I don't really know a lot about the game, you know? And I've made that very clear to everybody. I'm like, guys, you know, just so you know, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I'm like that I know what
Dragon
this
Ball.
Like
is.
a Dragon Ball Z boy.
Yeah, but, and like I made that very clear, and everyone's like, dude, it's all good because we like you, and we like that you like what we like, you know. So it's all good, and it's honestly been like scarily successful, like to a level that I'm like, it's like kind of almost like, what is going on, you know? So if a fandom finds you, obviously, vibe check it, make sure you enjoy it, but, if they pass the vibe check, it's like, dude, come on in, be a part of it, and, show me what you like. I'm not obligated to like everything that you show me, but if I like it, then hell yeah, so
Yeah.
for sure.
Anyone else want to answer? Is that good? That was good? Okay.
Yeah.
So can you guys tell us a pivotal moment when you had to collab with another creator or another artist, a composer, blah, 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 things and mumbo jumbo vocabulary, and the pros and cons of collaborating for yourself?
Do we want to spill the tea now or like?
You can spill tea.
So
We
there's
got
this guy-
so much
there's this guy,
tea.
Jules.
Go for
Oh
it.
my God.
I'm all for a nice little tea party session.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm such a control freak.
Not you spitting out your water.
Same. Honestly, same.
Yeah, well, like, I think what tends to happen is, like, I don't know. I've seen this similarly, and this probably isn't for everyone, but I was in a lot of bands in high school, and all they really wanted to do was have sex and do drugs. It wasn't even about the music, and I was there because, like, I really want to make music. It's very important. So I always felt like I was the only one doing anything. I was the only one writing. I was the only one, like, producing and everything. That it got to a point where I was just like, okay, like, if I want to get as much as I can get done, I have to be the only person to do it, So for a long time, I was almost just, like, collab phobic, I didn't want to incorporate another variable into the mix because that would just cause variables that can go wrong. And I think that what's cool about when you're working in a space of other people who are passionate about the thing that you're doing, you find a lot of other like-minded people who are able to kind of get things done or offer things that you would have never thought of. And then you get to kind of start strengthening the muscle that I've been very bad at, which is like being able to accept that somebody has a better idea than you do.
Oh, the pride.
Yeah,
Ego.
yeah, the pride and ego, man. It'll kill really great art.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that having that openness is important. But I think I guess the best advice I can give is the one that Jack already gave, which is just vibe check it. Like I think obviously you can't collaborate with everybody and anybody.
Why not?
Because I think you're all cringe. I really feel like a lot of the time I have so many projects of my own, and I don't want collaboration projects unless those are like the project that was my baby, my brainchild, which I've done for like the Mario medley and stuff. That was like I wanted that to be a collaborative project or whatever. Like I think it's easy to get jaded fast about collabs, and I just implore you not to, because it is so powerful to work with other people.
Yes.
I would say my favorite time being asked to collab was when Danny Baranowski sent me an all lowercase message in Discord that said, "Hey, do you want to be in a Zelda game?" But that's to illustrate that it can happen in ways that you would have never expected, and not to like really force yourself into communities and stuff. Really try to make friends first, I think, is really important, because then things come up naturally. And every single thing in my life that has been like something I'm very proud of has never come from me spamming my YouTube channel in a Discord server, or going into a Twitch channel and being like, hey, this is a cool stream. It reminds me of this other stream that's also my stream. You should come to my stream. No, like it feels like when you're really like I need to get good. I need to get better, and I need to use other people to leverage that. The best way to do that is collaborate with other people, other like-minded people, and make something beautiful together.
Yes.
Unlike me for most of my career.
I will say, like, I have a lot of collaboration experience.
Yeah.
And again, that's why I said in the beginning, have room for growth. You're going to grow as a person. There's going to be, like, look, you're going to find people you like. You're going to find people you don't like really fast. And a lot, I will say, like, when I was younger, I did not know how to talk to people. I was very, I'm still awkward, but I was even more awkward, and I definitely, had a lot of life lessons to learn. And a lot of them I learned through the collaborations I made with people.
The friends we made along the way.
The friends we made along the way.
That's such a good point. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
I will say, not everyone's going to have your best intentions in mind. And I say that with a heavy heart, because especially if it's someone you look up to, just see everyone on the same playing field, because sometimes your heroes might turn to your worst enemy.
But they're all nerds.
But we're all nerds, and we're all horrible anyway. So
Hero turns into your worst enemy. Just write a song about it.
Yeah.
that's true. That's so true.
Dang.
That's what Taylor Swift does.
True.
Yeah.
Only problem with that is once you find out they're actually innocent.
Yeah.
Well, if it's a good song, it's a good song.
We'll take comments and stuff after, if that's all right, sir. Thank you.
All right.
Hi.
Oh, she's back to you.
Oh, hey, Yuna.
Hi, Yuna.
So if you had unlimited resources, what dream project or cover or thing would you want to be a part of or create?
Oh God, F-Zero. Please let me play guitar on an F-Zero game. But first, make another F-Zero game. Okay, I'm done.
I would love to do a Metroid soundtrack.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my God.
You have to at this point.
I want to so bad, dude. Or it doesn't even have to be specifically Metroid, just like a badass like sci-fi game, which is like super realistic too. I just need to like freaking do it. But it's a very realistic goal. Hopefully I'll do it, and yeah, wish me luck, I guess.
Well, it's a good idea to do it and then have it available, because you never know if you're going to meet someone who can make that happen for you, right?
That would be sick.
I think it's good if you have big dreams like that, get started on those projects regardless, at least kind of be visualizing it and be homing your skills to be able to do it at the drop of a hat. Sometimes all you have is the drop of the hat for that moment to make your dream come true. So prepare yourself for that. Don't just let it be a dream.
Don't let your dreams
Don't
be
let your
dreams.
dreams be dreams.
That's a dated reference now. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Oh, dude, it's like 10 years old now or something.
Is it? Don't say that. Don't say that out loud.
We did this thing called copy pasta theater.
Oh.
We all had to memorize copy pastas, and my friend
God.
Drumsy did the entire Shia LaBeouf Just Do It thing like live, and it was incredible. I had to do Shrek is Love. Shrek is Love.
No, not Shrek is
You
Love. Oh my
did.
God.
Oh my
I was only
God.
9 years old. I loved Shrek so much. Okay, we can move on.
That just tapped a memory I forgot I had.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Save that for the after dark panel.
Yeah, after dark panels.
That's the whole panel. I just keep reciting Shrek.
No. Sounds like torture. Okay. So I have a friend in here. Her name is Amanda. Say hi, Amanda.
Hi, Amanda.
Say it better than that. Oh my gosh. People in the audience say hi, Amanda.
Hi, Amanda.
Hi, audience.
Thank you. All right. So we're going to do a short Q&A. We have time for, I'll say about 15 questions. So 15 people can line up behind Amanda. You're going to tell her your question. If she loves it, she'll let you say it. If she doesn't, I don't know what she'll do to you. Yeah? Just please, let's just keep questions appropriate. Let's not, ask people to marry you, because that's weird. But yeah.
Yikes.
Oh, people do that. It's a little...
Okay, so, do they
No,
agree, practice that?
no hugs.
I'll take hugs, just no kisses.
Jules.
And you can marry me. That's fine.
No.
I'm not married, so it's cool.
Not yet.
Bet? Oh, I thought you said bet. I was like, oh shit.
In the vein of monetizing your entire life, have you ever streamed like a practice session, and then how, I guess, successful is that? Does the viewership just plummet, or?
The viewership is not amazing for those kind of like chill sessions, but I wouldn't consider the viewership to be a metric of success, because like like for example, like what I've been doing recently is streaming the creation of my music, and these wonderful people, they watch me like edit DIs and stuff, and I'm sitting here like, how is this content? I don't, but everyone's like, dude, this is so dope, this is sick, and to me, like, that's the success, and obviously, like, people will, if you're streaming, people will support you, they'll prime, whatever they do on Twitch, but yeah, I think by that kind of like metric, that would be a successful thing to do. It's just, but you have to accept that realistically, it's practicing and working kind of streams are not going to be the viewership that other things are, but who cares, right?
That's good to hear. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for your question. Hello.
Hello. First, I just want to say I'm also a big fan of Final Fantasy 14. I love all the songs from it, especially like from the Pandemonium raids.
Sorry.
Really excited for the beach episode as Dawn Trail. That's my question. What are some of your favorite songs that you like performing?
Oh, I really love singing. I'm not the original singer, obviously, but I like to sing Scream from the Pandemonium. It's so freaking good. I collaborated with Husky, amazing guitarist.
Husky,
So
yeah.
good.
I literally haven't really performed it except for yesterday when I played it, but I think I'm gonna have a hard time taking One Winged Angel off my set list because that one's so much fun.
Why take it off your set list?
Whoa,
It's
what is
hard.
happening
It's a hard
behind
song.
us?
There's the panel behind us. They're having a great time.
Yeah.
I really like performing Flow, of course. It was a song that the composer Soken wrote for me after he had already collaborated with me once. It's very difficult. My little story about Flow is that he sent me a MIDI track. If you don't know what MIDI is, it's like robots going beep, beep, boop, boop. Hard to kind of get a really clear idea of what that's going to sound like. And he's like, look, I'm writing you a new song. Let me know if this is a good key. And I played it on my phone while I was washing dishes. And I was singing along, and I'm like, that's fine. And then I got it, and it was really high. And I was like, I could have asked for this to be lower, but, it's a challenge. I'm going to work through it, and it makes it really special that it's so high. So that's just been a fun song to, like, make my own and get into.
You sounded so beautiful.
Thank you.
You did.
I thought freaking Mystic Mansion was pretty lit yesterday. That song was dope. Like, that song, like, that's a song from Sonic Heroes, and like, dude, that song rips, man. Like, I want to play that live more. So I would say that's like one of my current favorites to play live.
I love that song too.
Hell yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All
Thank you.
Sonic music does just
It
slap.
It just hits.
All Sonic music
I
does.
So
think
good.
I think they actually confirmed that Michael Jackson did work on
What?
Sonic 2, I believe.
That makes so much
Or
sense.
3. Yeah, it was like he was kind of like a ghostwriter, and they were like, yeah. So I mean, Sonic has had a beautiful history of the most amazing musicians on their. It's amazing. So yeah.
Yeah.
Video games by a little hedgehog.
Great panel, y'all. I'm part of Extra Lives, which is a YouTube project as well. We've been fans of at least 2 of you since 2016.
Sorry.
And so this is a question for all of you, but specifically Jack and Jules. Your content it's consistently polished. It not only sounds great, it looks great, and you've been consistent with a publishing schedule for a long time. And I'm curious, beyond making sure you have those things on lockdown, are there any things that might be less intuitive or, kind of like little secrets or little things that helped you earn the large following that you had?
I mean, consistency is a big deal.
It's so huge.
Yeah.
And like what I said earlier about like publishing is not just part of it, it is an art form in itself. Being able to tell yourself, this is done, part of that comes being able to appreciate the parts that are good rather than focusing on all the flaws and imperfections. Knowing that you will never make anything perfect, and even if you did, whatever is perfect for you now will not be in a year if you're still getting better. So
Yeah.
accepting that is so huge, and just being like, this is what I can do right now. And here you go, world, I think is so important. And it gets easier when you kind of get out of the perfectionist mindset, which is something that a lot of people struggle with. I have I have a slight psychological background. I was studying to be a clinician for all of like 5 minutes, and I have a lot of theories on the idea of perfectionism and why it is actually a defense mechanism, and why if you can get rid of that and start being able to publish more. Consistency, which is a huge key. It's not going to make sure that, like if you're just making a video every day of you taking a shit on the toilet, as I'm saying it, it might actually work. But it's not guaranteed.
Consistent, dude.
Yeah, it's not guaranteed to like get you a huge following, but it is such a key thing, especially in TikTok generation where it's like standard to make like 5 things a day. You can't do that with music unless you're making AI music, unfortunately. But I think it's important to just like work that out like you're at a gym. Like, put something out you don't like. Let the world rip it apart,
Dude, That's like almost like all of my videos.
Shut up, Jack.
Like, no, dude, for real, man. It's just like I'll put this out. I'm like, this is not done.
Yeah,
like
every video I put out, I'm like, I could do more, but I have to not, and that's a muscle.
You want to know something interesting about my process that maybe not a lot of people know? It's like the last like hour before the video goes live is like hell for me.
Yeah.
Like, not like, and I know it sounds really negative, but it's just like the creative process. But I'm just sitting here. It's like, it's always in the last hour before it goes live that every imperfection, it just goes like, hi. Like, oh, this part's out of tune, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, the bass sucks here. And you're like, how is it so good until now?
Yeah.
And then,
it's totally psychological.
And it's psychological, but, my silly ass will still go in there and just, like, fix it,
Yeah,
right? 1 hour right before it goes live. But the thing that keeps it coming out is being like, this shit's coming out at 10 o'clock. I don't give a freaking damn, So it's hard, but you just put it out, just put the song out. And because, like we were saying, like, the consistency is the key to success, I think, in YouTube.
I am sorry to keep this one going, but like there is a very, very key thing that I found that helps me. If I know that the video is coming out on Tuesday at 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, I want to be done with it days before that deadline. And what helps is when I'm kind of just done, I start the next project before that one comes out, so that I'm emotionally detached from the video that is about to come out.
Yeah.
And then I'm totally refreshed on it for when it does come out. And I'm like, oh, I made this? Okay. Because my mindset is in a whole other place. But if you're still stuck there, if you're still like, oh God, this is the project right now, it's so hard to detach. And detachment, this doesn't go for all parts of life, but detachment is great.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
And that's like, everything I'm saying is like totally, like, I'm just exposing like the vulnerability of myself for that. Because like everything Jules is saying is correct, and I want to do that, But that's like one of the hardest things for me, is because I'm so, when I'm like so stoked about a song that I'm putting out, I'm like, this is so fire.
Yeah.
Like, that's a good feeling, but you can also really easily slip into that, like, it has to be perfect.
Yeah.
Like, not because, like, I know you were saying like perfectionism can be like an insecurity thing, and I also feel like sometimes it's just like, I just want it to be good because it slaps. Like,
well, there's a balance for sure.
Yeah.
Like, and you gotta strike it. But yeah, don't listen to me. I'm a robot.
No, everything he's saying is true though. I'm trying to do that too. So,
Thank
Thanks
you.
so much.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hey.
So, going off the music theory kind of question, or learning about that, I learned media studies, learned camera movement, learning how
AV
to
kind
frame.
of stuff?
Say
Like
that again?
AV kind of stuff?
Yeah, stuff
Okay.
like that. And one of the people I followed made a comment that you're taught how to do stuff the right way, but eventually there comes a point where you want to break those rules.
Yes.
Do you agree with that in like any creative process?
Not that intentionally. I think the second you start like kind of like setting that as like a plan, like one day I'm gonna break the rules, I feel like it's not coming from the right place.
So
because,
edgy.
That's
yeah,
metal as
I mean that's
That's
me.
so metal.
The idea I think that you want to take from that is there will come a time where you know that theoretically you're not supposed to do this color theory thing.
Parallel
But
fifths, parallel fourths.
yeah. Oh my God, that's
bad voice leading.
that's no, like, dude, all metal is parallel fifths forever. It's all power chords, and it sounds sick. It sounds amazing. So there's gonna be a time where you start seeing something where you're like, I feel like in my gut, this will be better. This will look better. This will sound better. I'm just gonna do it, and that's a rule breaking. That's more what I think. At least my smooth brain thinks of this kind of thing. And my experience, I would say, like, if I go into it like I'm going to make parallel fifths, it's not going to sound good. But if I do something where I'm like, I think this will sound good. Oh, it breaks a rule. Whatever.
Oopsie.
Yeah.
If you play a wrong note, it's jazz.
Police are not coming.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Fair enough.
They're gonna be in the comments section. That's for sure.
Yeah, but they're going to be in
yeah.
the comments section even if it's perfect. Sorry.
Nobody reads that though, right?
Yeah, no one ever.
It's okay to follow the rules, though. It's not lame. There are rules for a reason because it sounds dope. You know, music. That's what's so cool about music theory. You're just like, why does that sound cool? You're just like, well, it sounds cool because of this. You're like, that's
Dude,
awesome.
serialism does not sound cool.
That's when all the rules have been broken.
Yeah.
They've already been broken a long time ago,
Yeah,
so
no.
don't worry about it.
So hopefully that helps.
Yeah, it very much did. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, the mic is very tall.
Oh no.
Nice
Hello.
shirt.
Thank you. So my question was, if there in the creative process there was a song that you were trying to cover or whatnot, and at first you weren't really about it, just kind of this is whatever, but at the end you ended up absolutely adoring it.
Sorry.
Story?
It's almost
Story?
everything I do.
No.
Yeah.
I have to make it different. I can't, like, I love the original song. I don't know why, but sometimes I don't cover songs I love specifically because what happens is after I cover the song, I don't listen to the song anymore. And I'm just like, why? Am I just an asshole? No, I think I should, I think
You dissected it like a frog on a table.
Yeah, pretty much. And so, there's this moments of, I love, turning pop songs into metal. That's my vibe. That's my niche. It took me a while to find it. And then, it was where I'll turn a metal song to pop. I think intuitively, just it's a skill building thing, right? And also it depends on who I'm collaborating with. I know if I'm working with Jules, we're doing metal, or doing some cool spirit box style thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that kind of piggybacks off something somebody said earlier, where so you and I did we did Bury the Light from Devil May Cry 5 in the style of spirit box.
Yeah.
And people did not attach to it because they were like, this song should be this singer should sound like this, and and all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And that was hard because that kind of made me kind of revert back to that old megalovania kind of style of thinking, where it's just like, oh, maybe there is kind of some validity to the elitism of whatever. But no, I look back at that and I'm like, that is a new, fresh idea, and that actually I've already covered that song, and I was like, if I'm gonna do it again, I want to do it differently, and I think that really benefited from that because that's probably one of my favorites off the album.
I agree. I think and again, people shit on new shit all the time.
Yeah.
Because they're unfamiliar with it. But
Yeah.
I come from the thought that if you're going to cover a song, don't cover it exactly how it's written. That's where some of the rule breaking maybe comes in that the other person was asking about. If for example, okay, let's say I wanted to cover a metal song. I'm not a metal vocalist. I'm a jazz vocalist. I'm a classical vocalist. So I might take a metal song and reharmonize it and make it a jazz arrangement.
Oh, that'd be
would be
so
sick.
cool.
That'd be so
Yeah, but then you're going to get haters in the comments regardless
Yeah.
because it's not what they're used to. So don't care about that.
I'll fight
put your
them.
own spin on it. Break the rules
Yes.
that way. Put your own stamp. Make your own thing. I think that's really important to, again, find your own authentic, unique spin and interpretation of something.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I think that comes with every time there is kind of something where there's a song where I don't necessarily know what it is, but I guess for whatever reason there's a gun to my head and I have to cover it, which does happen more often than you would think.
I'm so sorry.
It's a metaphorical gun.
It's a water gun.
Yeah, it's a Nerf gun. I think what tends to happen is that's something that helps me personally love it more. If I actually do add my own inevitable spin on it, because I think even if you went into something I'm going to cover it exactly the way it is, it's not going to come out exactly the way it is, and it will have your spin on it. And I think that's your musical voice. That's what you're bringing to the table, and I think that's what makes it interesting a lot of the time. And I think that's something that can help you enjoy it by the end of it. I don't know if that answers the question at all.
I mean, yeah.
There's a lot.
We went off on a few tangents.
It's fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
First of all, I would like to say, Jules, big fan. I use your mod for the letter V 6 times that you made ages ago.
That's the first time I've ever heard that referred to as the letter V 6 times. Okay.
Jack, also a huge fan. Love your Lufia covers in particular.
Thanks, dude. Thank you, dude.
Sick.
Hell yeah.
So I wanted to ask Jack, what's your favorite of Jules' covers, and Jules, what's your favorite of Jack's covers?
I don't like anything Jack does.
I've actually never
Damn.
listened.
Brutal.
Yeah. We were roommates, and we just like we were like opposite sides of the house. Don't talk to each other.
Oh man, this is like I really want to like answer this correctly because Jules has put out some fucking bangers, dude.
I already know my answer for yours.
Like when you were doing your Fire Emblem stuff, that was just banger after banger.
Thank you.
Like, what's the freaking one that's like? It's just got that beautiful freaking melody, dude.
That's all of them.
It's just like.
He said period.
Oh my god, it's not the Woods theme, but it's just.
Fodlan Wins.
Is it that one?
I think so.
That's one of them.
Well, that's the Edge of Dawn motif, but then
That's
the battle theme, right? That's
Yeah.
like the normal battle. I love that melody.
Yeah, like pretty much when you were doing the Fire Emblem stuff and when you were doing the Octopath stuff, that was just fire for like ever. So that was dope.
Absolutely. For you, it's Mystical Ninja.
Oh hell yeah!
Like I know it was like from like 17 million years ago, but like your acoustic medley of that, like and it's funny because like I'd never played that game, and I was just going through your stuff, and like when you played Zazentown, it like moved me on like an emotional and sexual level that I.
You're gonna make me cry.
Yeah, man. It just like and like it. I don't know, and that was like everything to me because like that's kind of the thing where like we find new fandoms through that stuff, and yeah, like I love that song, and the first time I heard it wasn't even in the game; it was your cover of it.
Sick. Thanks,
Aw.
man.
We love a bromance.
Yeah,
I know. Let's
Bro.
get
Yes.
married.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I can't get married anymore.
Yeah.
It's me.
There you
now.
go. That's your dude.
Thanks, man.
Let's
Thank you.
do a rapid fire. We have about 8 minutes left.
Oh no.
Lightning round.
Lightning, go.
All right. This is hello.
Hey.
Yo.
This is going back to something Amanda said a while back. How you were able to be classically trained and still find your own way of doing the music that you want to do. I want to know for just general anybody else, how did you manage to do that? How did you get out of like what is considered straight pop? Because I'm also a classically trained musician and still be able to do the music that you wanted to do in time, of course.
I can answer that.
Oh yeah.
Go for it.
Follow your intuition, because if you are raised with rules, it's like like Jules said, the joke of like, yeah, I'm gonna break the rules one day. Like no one thinks of that, right? But again, I think
of that.
having,
You're a robot.
Schoenberg did think of that.
having the training allows you to have good foundations built, and I think classical training is amazing because now you have the tool belt, you have the foundation. Now you get to paint. You have the easel, like happy trees, like again, it's very much a personal thing, and like Jules said, you just got to follow, just go outside the borders of what you know.
Okay.
That's all I can say. I know it's pretty vague, but
No, that totally helps.
I think if you're classically trained, it's very much a part of that culture to be so married to technique and all of these rules. We're talking so much about rules. People get stuck in a box.
Do it for 25 years, I know.
Yeah, I think something really important is to improvise. Start, like classical musicians used to improvise. Like in Bach's day, everybody was improvising, and then so many of the composers started writing such specific things that improvisation was completely taken out of it. And classical performers don't know how to improvise. That's such an important skill. We improvise all day. Life is an improvisation.
Yeah. Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm improvising right now.
We're all improvising here.
This is all a binary script for me.
You're right.
He's AI.
Android.
You're a robot, yeah.
Whenever we do jazz selections, I see deer in the headlights from like.
It really helped me in school to just take the first level of jazz improv, and I did jazz bass, and I learned how to walk bass lines and stuff like that.
Pick up a bass in jazz.
Yeah,
That's a good.
because it was hard too. Because but it was, it's like a completely other. I was gonna say genre, but it's a whole other art form, like jazz and classical. Like you're exercising different muscles, and I think it's really important to just kind of not be afraid of that because you have the background you have in classical. Not be like, oh no, I'm gonna be like a deer in headlights when I get to jazz. Like everyone is gonna be at an entry level, and that's actually something that's great. So I would highly suggest if you can find even like, I don't know, Meetup or something probably has like maybe people like, oh, we're just having a big jazz jam. And if you show up and you're just like what's your instrument of choice?
It's actually a stand-up double bass. And
oh my god,
you're sick.
You are ready to go.
Sick, dude.
Bass guitar.
Okay, so get the Real Book is the like American songbook for jazz,
Yes.
right? There's an app. You can play any song, you can put it in any key, and it plays the backing track for you, and you can just play the melody and then improvise along with that.
The Real Book, okay.
Do that. Real Book
Yeah,
app.
Real Book
Yeah.
is everything for jazz. Well, not everything. Eventually, you have to just memorize the thing. But yeah, I would say jazz musicians are maybe hot take. Nicer than classical musicians.
No, it's true.
It's true.
Yeah.
So
Very
like,
true.
don't be afraid of like jumping into a group of a bunch of jazz cats and have a good time. I highly suggest
That
it.
sounds refreshing, actually.
Do it. Absolutely do it. Right after this. Just
Go to a jam session, yeah.
Right
All
now.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We got 4 minutes left, so go, guys. Go, 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 go.
Hey, phenomenal panel so far, and
Thank you.
thank y'all for coming. It's awesome. My question is real simple, very basic. Since we're already halfway through the year, like as far as games is concerned, what has been some of y'all favorite soundtracks so far from this year?
Hades 2.
Only
Easily.
Hades 2.
Well, I mean that's just like the biggest one that came up to me. I've been stuck in a dungeon all year. What else came out?
I don't even know what came out this year, dude. My brain is like not working.
Final Fantasy.
Oh, yeah,
Stellar
Final
Blade,
Dawntrail's about to come out.
Unicorn.
I'm so
Overlord.
excited.
Helldivers has a sick.
Oh
my
Helldivers
god,
too.
Yeah, the Helldivers game is sick.
Yes. No, I was gonna say Baldur's Gate 3 has some great tracks.
Dude, I literally cannot think of a game, but there are some killer
Yeah,
soundtracks
video
that came
games?
out.
We don't play video
Like,
games. Come
no,
on.
I just like.
They're making content. All
I'm
day.
gonna literally get out of this
Too busy.
panel and I'm gonna just be like, no, like that game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I would say, the Helldivers. That's my.
Yeah, that theme goes way too hard.
Yeah. That's my answer.
Thank you.
Thank you, dude.
Thank you.
Go, go, go. Rapid.
Hi, my name is Dan, and I have a question for Amanda specifically. By the way, perfect performance last night or yesterday. But my question is, as a singer, when you're choosing songs to cover, are you cognizant about what your audience and like what they're affecting? Like, because like for me, I really love playing video games. I do love video game songs, but I also love songs from Billboard 100, and part of me, it's difficult for me to choose because I'm afraid that one fandom would not like me if I do a specific cover, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, like, do you have any advice on like, should I focus on one specific part of a fandom, or is it better to do a jack of all trades?
I'm generally, I mean, we were talking about niching. I mean, personally, for me, I feel like the video game industry is a niche as a musician. And so for me, I'm doing Snake Eater, I'm doing Nier, I'm doing Final Fantasy, I'm crowdfunding. My brain's not working right now either. I'm getting the fans to tell me what songs they want me to perform. And so crowdsourcing, thank you. Crowdsourcing. Sorry, there's so much cheering happening back there. They love this. Yeah. I think the more for me, I can do like video game greatest hits because then you're hitting all the songs that people really are excited about. So ask your community, like, what would you like me to do? And don't worry if Final Fantasy is different from something else. I mean, I think people are just gonna be happy because everybody knows those songs.
Yeah. I do have an answer for this because I have been stuck in that thing.
there you go.
I have this one thing that I perform every once in a while called 100 video game songs in 5 minutes.
Oh my god.
And that's kind of my like, okay, like I started getting sick of being like, all right guys, who's heard of Rise of Nations? And then no one cheers. And I'm like, well, that's too bad because I'm playing a song from Rise of Nations. Where I was just like, okay, how do I appeal to everybody? And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do all of this. And it's the most like ADHD medley of all time. You can't even latch on to any of the songs because it goes so fast. I've sped up the thing. There's a video that goes along with it, and it's still a mess. And what I learned from that, I'll still play it. It's still funny. But like, no. niche down to what you like, because that's going to reach the people that you're trying to reach.
Thank you so much.
So that's all the time we have. Unfortunately, these guys gotta get to their tables and do other things. But they do have, tables. They have autographs. They have things that you can come up and talk to them about if you have more questions.
Yeah.
But thank y'all for coming.
I have a booth, but there's just a trash can there.
I'm at the Walk of
Just a
Fame.
trash
If you guys
can.
want to come get a
Yeah.
photo or an autograph, come see me there. I'm gonna
If you
go
guys
find
see me,
now.
if you guys had a question and I couldn't answer it, if you see me, just you can ask me a question.
Yeah.
whatever.
Stop them in the
Same,
middle
but
of
just ask
anything.
the trash can that's sitting
Yeah.
under my sign.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.